he's pretty mentally weak in the ring. You know, as soon as things don't start going his way,
Yeah.
he starts to crumble, and things aren't going to go his way. So I think he's going to crumble.
Yeah.
Jake Paul has reacted to the newly surfaced sparring clips of GervontaDavis with his usual mix of confidence and defiance. Rather than being intimidated by Tank's explosive power and precision, Jake said the videos only fuel his motivation. He admitted that he loves when people doubt him because it raises the stakes and makes every fight more exciting. Paul added that
and on business and say the other person's gonna win. I like it.
So when
it makes it fun.
When he lay your boy out, you know what I mean?
He's my boy too. I love Mike.
I mean, Mike will move from this side to this side without you knowing exactly.
Showbiz the adult fired back at critics who claimed GervontaDavis only accepted the Jake Paul fight for money, saying the situation is far more complex than it appears. He revealed that Jake himself mentioned a special knockout bonus built into the contract, a clause that changes the entire motivation behind the bout. According to Showbiz, that bonus means Tank won't just be fighting for a paycheck, he'll be fighting to make a statement. For a prideful fighter like Davis, the thought of being knocked out by a YouTuber-turned-boxer is unthinkable. Showbiz argues that this isn't just about money, it's about ego, respect, and legacy. He believes Tank's pride and competitive drive outweigh any financial incentive, and that Jake's comments about the knockout bonus may have just turned this into one of the most personal fights of Tank's career.
You guys told me that Gervonta Tank Davis is just taking this fight for a payday. He's just trying to get to the bag. Well, you got the fight itself, which is a payday, and you got a KO bonus on top of that, a big bonus. That's what Jake Paul said.
They're going to get a big bonus.
And they got a side bet of $2 million. That make it two.
Yeah, Shake on it.
Yeah.
Shake on it.
Jake on $2 million.
2 mil? 2 mil? 2 mil. That's 2 mil. Go get it steady.
Oh, they're shaking left you.
2 mil. There we go.
Oh, my fuck.
Why not get the entire bag? Whenever I got good food on my plate, I clean the plate. There is no reason to board y'all. Hold on. Let me, because I'm going to play some Marvel Rivals. Let me get all this together. I'm going to be playing some Marvel Rivals later. Hold on, let me get my blind. Cause no cream. And yes, no cream. Because I'm fired up today. I got on the scale today and I'm 209 pounds. Okay, you guys know that I'm on the fitness journey. I'm showing you guys my video journal. And I started at 217 pounds when I started all this 12 days ago. And I'm telling you, I'm seeing faint ass. Hold on, the faint ass. Woo! The faint ass! The faint ass! I'm telling you, it'll be back. I will be back. I will watch Terminator shit. And when I'm done, I'm going to tell you guys my secret and exactly how I did it. I'm talking about step by step, everything. I'm going to be in great shape like I was. When I turned 45 and all the gray in the beard, I was just like, it ain't over, bro. It ain't over. Hold on. Let me. Ooh. Dr. Doom. Okay. All right. But listen. A lot of you guys calling this a fake fight and all this shit. I'm going to quote one of you in the war room. I forgot, one of my show business partners said, was it Justin Hill? I forgot who it was. You guys said, something like, and if I misquote you, I'm sorry, but it was dope. You said something like, if this is a fake fight, it definitely has real consequences. I keep telling you guys, man, if it goes on their real record or not, whatever it is, you know what you saw. It's just like Ryan Garcia versus Devin the American Dream Haney. Devin Haney is still undefeated, but we know what we saw. You cannot erase what we saw. If Jake Paul knocks out Tank Davis, there's some real circumstances. The shit goes viral, and I'm going to lose $10,000. Jake Paul isn't just going to win in this exhibition, but he's also going to get a knockout bonus and
Robert Garcia weighed in on the Jake Paul versus GervontaDavis situation with a veteran's perspective, saying there's nothing inherently wrong with Tank taking the fight. It's his career and his choice, but the timing feels completely off. Garcia explained that legends like Mayweather, Tyson, and Pacquiao only turned to exhibition bouts after they'd cemented their legacies and collected major titles. Tank, however, hasn't reached that point yet. He still owes the sport and the fans those defining matchups against elite names like Shakur Stevenson or Devin Haney. To Garcia, the issue isn't the fight itself, but what it symbolizes. Instead of chasing greatness through legacy-defining challenges, Tank is diving into a spectacle that risks cheapening his image. Garcia believes Davis has the skill to earn respect the right way, but chasing flashy, attention-grabbing events too early could make it look like he's skipping the hard chapters of greatness.
The contest before something like that, but I don't know. What's your just take on the whole thing?
I'm not very interested in it. That doesn't excite me. I know it's going to do really good numbers. I know they're making a lot of money, which is good for them, good for Tank, because in boxing that's what everybody looks for. I think it's, the good thing is they announced it as an exhibition, which is, I'm okay with it. Everybody does it. Mayweather has done it. Ali did it. The only thing, my personal opinion is Tank. They all did it when they had already accomplished so much. They already did so much. Mayweather did everything in boxing and accomplished everything. Muhammad Ali did the same, and many others that have done it. I think Tank never gave us the fights that we really wanted. Never really gave us those challenges. He never really challenged himself. He didn't give Rhodes that rematch, which he should have. Mayweather did it when he had a hard time with Maidana and Castillo. Right away, he did the rematches to prove everybody wrong, and look at what he did. He beat them clearly. So Tank should have done the same. He didn't. That I could criticize, but then at the end also, if you're making 30 to 50 million, I don't even know what he's making to fight, to have an exhibition against just Jake Paul, I would have had. I would do the same.
No one would say no to that.
If I had one of my fighters get an offer to fight a big celebrity, a big YouTuber for $20-30 million, I would probably do the same. So I don't blame him. It's boxing. At the end of his career, 20 years from now, nobody's gonna care how.
Bernie Thaw boxer didn't hold back when addressing the GervontaDavis versus Jake Paul situation. He mocked those applauding Tank for securing another big payday, saying they're completely missing the point. According to Bernie, Tank isn't some struggling fighter. He's already one of the highest-paid boxers of his era. Fans, he argues, don't tune in to celebrate a fighter's earnings. They tune in for competition. Boxing is about excitement, skill, and rivalries, not bank statements. Bernie emphasized that the real storyline fans should care about is what happens in meaningful matchups, like Lamont Roach potentially defeating Isaac Pitbull Cruz. That fight would actually shift the boxing landscape because Pitbull is viewed as Tank's toughest test. If Roach wins, it raises serious questions about Tank's legacy and where he truly stands. Bernie's message is clear. Money fights might keep the lights on, but legacy fights keep a boxer's name alive. And that's what real fans value most.
With Tank, and it's I kind of don't really care about the fight no more. Starting to lose a little steam.
But I'm saying, if he stops Pitbull Cruz, right? Don't you think that people would want to see, Lamont and Tank more due to the fact that, Tank had a hard time with Pitbull?
No, I think people just want to see Tank versus Lamont because Lamont, he had a hard time with Lamont. It's just like Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia. People just like controversy. People just like, you know what I'm saying? So people like to see finished business. They don't want to leave it unfinished. And that's what the intrigue is. They want to people want to see finished business. So, you know what I'm saying? I think that's the intrigue of the fight. And it doesn't make no sense why they taking so fucking for fight, Everybody keeps saying that Tank getting the money, but is we getting the fucking money? Is we bidding out for the fucking money? Is he gonna give us some of the money? Are we waiting on him to feed us any bit? No. I want what I want. Fuck that. I'm selfish. I'm a fan. I want to see the fucking fight. I don't want to see no fucking circus. You know what I'm saying? So where everybody's saying, oh, he back, who gives a fuck? I hope he do get, he already rich as fuck. He already won $30 million in the last fight or something. He got more money than I'm ever gonna have. I don't give a fuck. I want to see the fights. I'm a fucking boxing fan. I want to see a fucking fight. I don't want to see no fucking farce. Fuck. Motherfucker count another motherfucker pockets. They all getting paid. These motherfuckers getting paid millions. Boy, we making how much? 60,000, 40,000 every motherfucking day. Going to work 9 hours a day and shit. And then coming home waiting on income tax and shit like that to get some big bread. Come on.
Lamont Roach addressed the Jake Paul fight with a calm but pointed response, saying he doesn't blame Tank Davis for chasing a big money opportunity. Any fighter would. What he does take issue with, though, is how it was handled. Roach revealed that his contract with Tank included a rematch clause, yet Tank went silent and instead signed to fight Jake without any discussion. To Roach, that's not just unprofessional, it's disrespectful. He said he might have made the same choice in Tank's shoes, but only if everything was handled transparently. For Roach, the problem isn't the fight itself, it's the lack of honesty and respect between fighters. Boxing, he reminded everyone, is supposed to be built on integrity. And when business takes priority over fairness, it weakens the sport's foundation. While he understands the financial upside for Tank, Roach believes this situation shows how easily ethics can get lost when the spotlight and money get too bright.
For not executing that rematch, is it safe to say that there was some money given to you because of that?
Money given to me, not necessarily, but you know, like I said, those guys took good care of me. Those guys on the other side took care of me. Not him personally and not his team personally, but you know.
But somebody made it right for that rematch not happening.
Kinda, you could say that. Yeah.
I understand. I don't understand the position you're in, but from the outside looking in, you had a phenomenal performance against arguably one of the best fighters, you know, top 10 pound-for-pound fighters in Tank, which many didn't believe it would happen. So you want the opportunity to get back and you know, I guess get the victory. But can you really, honestly, putting yourself in Tank's shoes, be upset with taking advantage of the opportunity to fight Jake Paul? Reportedly, there's about $40 million that he's going to get paid. Now, I don't know this to be, you know, accurate, but I'm saying those are the reports, right? If you were in his shoes, wouldn't you do the same thing?
See, now, this is something that I explain and express, and I hope everybody gets. That opportunity is an opportunity that you probably cannot pass up. But it's about how you handle it. It's about how you go about it. A lot of people don't know that he actually exercised his rights to the rematch, so that contractually binds us to a fight. You cannot breach that unless you do what you have to do to handle the business, to be like, okay, well, we mutually agree to let you move on or swindle around.
Jake Paul defends his upcoming fight by stressing that it's not an exhibition like Mayweather versus Logan Paul, but a fully sanctioned boxing match with real judges and a declared winner. He highlights the knockout bonus as a huge motivator for both fighters, saying it pushes him to give everything in the ring. Jake insists this isn't a money grab, it's the biggest moment of his career. He thrives on being doubted and says critics only drive him to train harder. For him, the knockout bonus represents more than money. It's about proving himself against one of boxing's most feared fighters. Jake says he's not stepping in the ring to survive. He's stepping in to show he truly belongs among the elite.
Even the list you made years and years ago, Gervonta is on the list.
Yeah, exactly. It's all manifestation, and it's a very powerful thing. And yeah, I think people don't dream big or set massive aspirational goals and then also put the work in. I think that's the other thing, is like, I'm still doing sprints and track work and bench press and squats and all of these things for the sport of boxing. So when I transition to NFL, I'm going to have a lot of that natural explosiveness and power from the past 6 years of training.
Ryan Garcia didn't mince words when talking about the situation, calling Jake Paul's fight a calculated publicity stunt meant to grab headlines rather than uplift boxing. He believes Jake knows exactly what he's doing, staying relevant through spectacle. Garcia, who's had his own rivalry with GervontaDavis, also claims Tank accepted the fight for money, not for the challenge. In his view, real fighters chase legacy, not paydays or viral moments. And both Jake and Tank are choosing attention over authenticity.
Paul versus Tank, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like, everyone's talking about it. It's a whole thing. A lot of people liked it, didn't like it.
Yeah.
How did you feel when you first saw that it was a thing?
It pissed me the fuck off, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
why?
it's just disappointing on mainly Jake's end. You know, we're not falling for the Disney Channel bit no more. We're not falling for you're not a fighter no more. We're not falling for that. You know, you're ranked as a cruiserweight and you're out here trying to fight lightweight. And then on top of it, you were just talking about fighting Anthony Joshua. That doesn't make no sense. And, you know, I just felt like it was a disgrace to boxing and kind of it was not a good move by Jake Paul. You know, I understand people saying, you know, Gervonta got to go get his money, you know, blah, blah, blah. But, like, we're not talking about that shit. We're talking about the sport, bro. We're not talking about, oh, you got to get that money, bro. Yeah, but everybody's open to criticism. That's the whole point of this media shit. Right. That's why they talk about basketball players. They don't talk about, well, LeBron's making too much. Like, nobody cares, bro. If LeBron's missing the shot, he's missing the fucking shot. So at the end of the day, bro, I just thought it was a disgrace to the sport. Because on one end, you know, you got the casuals, right? The casuals don't see the weight difference. They see Jake Paul and GervontaDavis. Yeah. And if GervontaDavis doesn't fuck up Jake Paul, they're going to think Jake Paul is some pound-for-pound champion type of fighter. Yeah. And to me, that's just... it's tricking the public, and it's kind of bullshit, bro, at the end of the day. Because at the end of the day, if Gervonta was Jake Paul's size, we wouldn't even be having this conversation. There probably wouldn't even be a fight.
Sean Porter takes a more measured but still critical stance, admitting that Jake Paul deserves credit for stepping into the ring with real fighters, something most celebrities wouldn't dare do. But he points out that the motivation behind those fights almost always comes down to money. According to Porter, most of Jake's opponents see him as a paycheck, not a test of skill. That's been the story since Jake's debut. Fame over respect. Porter acknowledges that Jake's progress is genuine. His skills, conditioning, and discipline have improved, but he still hasn't earned the kind of respect that comes from years of battling top-tier opponents. In boxing, Porter says, true respect comes from legacy, heart, and consistency, things that can't be bought or manufactured.
I like when it's all said and done and when you guys go off, they go into the next man. So if y'all can make a big payday, go get that payday. The sport of boxing don't love you. That's the problem with this sport. It's like, what Jake Paul did, man, it's crazy, but people getting paid off of it.
Yeah.
So if he can call any one of y'all out and y'all can get that payday, I say go get it, baby. I'm not mad at it.
For me, and I'm not mad at this move at all for Tank Davis, but I think when it comes to boxing fans, there's an essence that comes with this sport, and it's an essence that hasn't been lost, unlike other sports.
Comedian and boxing fan Earthquake delivers his trademark mix of humor and insight when talking about Jake Paul's chances. He jokes that muscles might win you a pose off, but not a fight. According to him, big, heavy fighters often look scary at first, until the real work begins. Once fatigue sets in, those same muscles become dead weight. Earthquake explains that this could be Jake's biggest problem against Tank. Jake's size gives him power, sure, but Tank's timing and ring IQ can turn that advantage against him. You can't knock out what you can't catch, he quips. Earthquake predicts Jake will come out fast and strong, throwing bombs early, but as the rounds go on, Tank's conditioning and patience will take over. In the end, he says, boxing isn't about who looks stronger, it's about who lasts longer. It's a sport of lungs, rhythm, and timing, not biceps.
You're a boxing fan?
Totally.
Okay. Tank Davis and Jake Paul in November. According to betonline.ag, Jake Paul's the underdog at plus 139. GervontaDavis is the favorite at minus 180. So he's the favorite almost 2-1.
Right.
What do you think will happen in this ring?
I don't know, but Tank should beat him. Tank should beat him, but Tank is smaller. And usually in boxing, you take the bigger man, but then again, Terrence Crawford killed that when he beat Canelo.
They're the same weight.
Yeah, they was
at the time.
Weight
well, no, maybe a little bit different after they rehydrated, but they weighed in at the same weight. There's a 30-pound difference between Gervonta and Jake Paul. Jake Paul had to lose like 30 pounds to get down to like 195. And Gervonta, I think, is like 160.
Gervonta all the way up to 160?
Well, hold on. Gervonta.
160?
Oh, maybe I'm wrong. Hold on. No. 133.8.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes, he 133.
It's a 60-pound weight difference.
Yes.
60 pounds.
Yes.
Ooh.
That's it for today's video. Stay tuned for more updates, breakdowns, and behind-the-scenes insights. Until next time, keep your guard up and your passion for boxing alive.